I thought it was hilarious that he had to have a condom mic. I mean, I have a ton of, like, condom stories like that.
Ah, so what do we have here?
Well, there was a nice pun, so...
Yes, that will be used. So here we have not a boss fight. So the difference to this arena is that the ground gets electrocuted, and you have to you have to move to different portions of the floor. And there are a bunch of guys, and you can so this is actually the room where you can Batte-Man just whiffing that punch. This is the room where you can use the throw move to just toss henchmen off the side of the map. And there's no floor below us.
Huh. Yeah, you should probably get out of there right now.
So, you know, kind of
Yeah, you need to get the fizzity fuck out of there. That's like my favorite thing to say, by the way. I've been saying it a lot as of late.
Well,
it has nothing to do with the fact that it's part of my nickname. I just think it's funny.
No, not at all.
No, I just found that out. I don't even know how I came up with it. Well, I kind of know how, but it goes along to, like, my actual nickname. Like, the story of my nickname.
Well,
it involves drinking. Well, it's at a bar, so, you know, whatever.
As you do.
As you do, when you're an adult. Get out, Batte-Man!
Oh, Harley.
Yeah, when there's dead time, I'll relate the story, but right now you're kind of busy.
Oh.
Batte-Man is busy.
Well...
He's kicking ass.
And
He's punching the shit out of everyone.
And getting sucker punched every now and then.
Well, that was
yeah.
That's actually surprisingly not as long as I thought it would be.
No, like I said, it was not a boss fight.
Well, normally when they do stuff like this, because if I remember right, Infamous did this, where they made you do shit like this, but it goes on for like way too long, and you're like, okay, don't make me do this anymore.
Well, we're finally gonna take out Harley Quinn.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I like Batman's little huh?
Why the smiles next to certain names?
You're the detective, you tell me.
I think we've already proven that Batman is not exactly as great a detective as he wants the world to think.
Yeah.
We're gonna lock Harley up.
You won't find Mr. J. He's in the secret lab in the garden.
Yep, I know.
He'll get me out. You'll see. Yeah.
Oh, Harley. Oh,
she means well.
Poor naive little Harley. And now she's just sitting there sobbing.
Harley is subdued.
A cheeky little chuckle.
Yes.
Who?
Batman.
Me? Oh, I was gonna say, I was like, not me.
No, Batman's cheeky little chuckle. Harley is subdued.
Subdued.
So that's the ice pun right there.
Gee, I wonder who's over there.
I don't know. Oh, map. Jeez, why'd you have to pop up while I was trying to solve a riddle? Jeez.
Hey, by the way, in the Botanical Gardens.
Yeah.
By the way, you're in the gardens.
Aww. Mr. Freeze!
Yep. Mr. Freeze. I always felt like he was like a tragic villain.
Oh, totally.
Because, I mean, they played it really well in the animated series. Where he got to the point where he's just like, you know what, whatever, just go away, leave me alone.
So, what did you think of Sub-Zero? If you ever saw that.
No, I saw it. It's been so long.
I think it's pretty good because
I enjoyed it for what it was.
Like it follows up on Mr. Freeze's story from like the animated series. Actually, I think that's. Oh, geez, I can't even remember exactly if he was a big player in the animated series anymore.
The 90s version, I think he kind of sort of was.
I think he might have been in like 1 or 2 episodes, but Sub-Zero was like, it was focused around Mr. Freeze and his...
I think I did a great job of like fleshing out his character.
Yeah.
And that's why I say he's like a perfect tragic villain.
Yeah.
But when it comes to like anything more than that, I felt like it was an okay movie.
Yeah, yeah. It did the characterization of Mr. Freeze incredibly, and everything else was, enjoyable.
Yeah, I didn't really like it, and I didn't really hate it. But as far as like the characterizations went, it was like spot on.
Yeah.
I thought it was fantastic because I mean they kind of sort of.
Oh.
Yeah, Harley. It was really brilliant.
But there's a wall we can blow out right there. So.
Yeah, so whatever. Like, I mean, they kind of sort of fleshed out certain characters if they showed up long enough in the animated series, like Catwoman. And Harlequin, for obvious reasons. The Joker, Poison Ivy. Penguin, kind of, sort of.
Yep.
But they really never fleshed out Mr. Freeze until Sub-Zero.
Yeah.
And then after that movie came out, they kind of did more of like his role.
Oh right, because they used him in the updated version of the animated series, like the New Adventures and
when Robin played a bigger role.
Yeah, stuff like that.
And that's when Catwoman got more screen time.
Yeah, once they started doing like the redesigns and everything. Yeah.
Yeah. Then they played more of the Catwoman as a potential love interest.
Oh, Selena Kyle.
I like Selena Kyle.
Yeah.
Let's call it a B+.
I just like the play in between the two.
Yeah.
Of Batte-Man and Selena Kyle. Of like she's like the perfect foil to him.
Yep. I actually
And this also plays into the fact of why I think Batte-Man is the best DC villain or DC character, because his villains actually play off of him.
Yeah.
And they actually play into some psychological aspects of Batman. Like the Riddler, because, he's a great detective and he has to figure out these riddles.
A vaunted intellect.
Yeah. And with Mr. Freeze, it was more like he has a reason for what he does.
The family tragedy motivation.
Yeah, the family tragedy, whereas Mr. Freeze is trying to save his wife.
Yep.
And the Penguin, that one was kind of shoehorned in, but it's also played on the fact that Bruce Wayne is a capitalist.
Yeah. Big money.
So he kind of has to be careful. And then there's the Scarecrow, because he has legit fears.
Yep.
Yeah. And the Joker is like the complete and the opposite of him.
Yeah.
And so it's like this, like,
what would happen if I didn't have my moral code?
Right. And I was watching this thing on the History Channel where they were talking about Batman and like the psychology of Batman. And they were talking about the villains and how they played off of him, and like what psychologists would do with Batman if he showed up to the therapy, or what they would classify him as. And it was really interesting learning about the psychology behind Batman.
Yeah.
In like the villains, and especially the play between him and Catwoman.
Yep.
Where he wants to act on his sexual desires, but he can't because she's a thief.
So Catwoman is another reason. Like it's another thing I thought they could have done more with, but it's another reason another thing that I liked in The Dark Knight Rises. I didn't think that they did a bad job with Anne Hathaway as Selina Kyle.
I'm a little biased because I think Anne Hathaway is awesome.
Well, yeah. but I genuinely thought that her part in the film was pretty well done, and
I think how she played Catwoman was brilliant.
Yes, and her interactions with like Bruce Wayne and Batman were like they felt like kind of the playful banter between Batman and Catwoman. Like Batman's
favorite...
trying to be stoic, and Catwoman is trying to, you know.
Yeah, I think my favorite interaction was at the very beginning of when she was trying to steal stuff.
Yeah.
And I think she was supposed to bring up food.
Yeah.
And then she was going to steal some stuff, and Bruce caught her.
Yep.
And she was playing off this, like, poor me kind of thing.
That guy.
And I can see that being super annoying. And she's trying to play off this, like, coy, I don't know any better. And then there's that change.
Yeah.
Of just like, well, you caught me. What are you going to do about it?
Yep.
I just loved that. I thought, okay, that's how this character's going to go. And my other favorite scene was when she was caught and she's going to Arkham Asylum. And these guards were giving her cat calls, and she just does a tumbling flip over these guys' wrists and breaks them. I thought that was great.
Yeah. Yeah, like that's what I mean. I thought they did her character pretty well in that movie.
Mm-hmm.
And
But like I said, I'm very biased because I like Anne Hathaway. I think she's a great actress.
Yes.
I loved her in Interstellar.
I have not seen that.
Oh, it's a great movie. It's the only movie that I thoroughly enjoyed that Matt McConaughey is in. I'm not a fan of him, but I thought he was great. And plus, I thought, I mean, we've talked about this before, but like Hans Zimmer and his use of the organ, I just thought that was great. Gee, I wonder where the Joker is.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, I'm sorry. I must be seeing things.
Yeah, nothing weird going on around this penitentiary.
But what made me love Anne Hathaway was Les Mis.
Yes. Yeah.
I will thoroughly admit, I cried every single time she was on stage. I'm sorry, not on stage, on screen.
On screen, yeah.
Yeah, sorry, it's the theater in me that's saying stage.
I know a lot of people had misgivings about the
movie Bob.
about the film version of Les Mis, but
whatever.
Yeah, I thought it was really good. I
loved it. Like, it was funny. Like at the movie theater I was at, like when the movie was over, like all the girls in the bathroom, because you know when you go to a movie theater you have to go to the bathroom immediately afterwards.
Totally.
Like all the guys were kind of bored, like whatever. But then like I was in the women's bathroom and all the girls were like, "Oh my god, that's so touching." So
the film version of Les Mis is actually what prompted me into enjoying singing songs in a Kermit voice so much.
Really?
Because the guy who plays Marcus, or what's his freaking name anymore?
The guy in the Resistance?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. I think it's Marcus.
Yeah, like the way that he sings is with this really throaty voice. It's like,
oh yeah.
like, my friend and I loved the film and the soundtrack and everything, but every time we would like listen to the songs, we would always go like, empty chairs at empty tables, where my friends will sit no more. Because, you know, he's got that very like Kermit-like voice.
Right.
And so,
you know what?
So it's like, yeah, you know.
The one performance that really kind of surprised me was Russell Crowe.
Russell Crowe, yeah.
He actually did a very good job as Javert.
Javert. I am not one to criticize someone for having a nasally sounding voice. So.
Right. And Hugh Jackman rocked it too.
Oh God, he was. Oh.
Well, he's a theater trained actor.
Yeah.
He's done musicals.
He destroyed that role though. Like
Anne Hathaway destroyed that role.
Well,
oh my God,
she was the obvious like hit, but yeah.
You know what? I looked her up on Wikipedia one day, and what I thought was interesting was that she can actually sing.
Well, yeah.
She's a soprano. Well, I'm not just... Well, yeah, I mean, obviously. But she can, like, legit sing.
Yeah.
She's a soprano.
Yeah.
And her mom played her role when she did theater.
Huh.
The role that she played in Les Mis.
Right. That's interesting.
Something with an F. I can never remember the name of it.
Fontaine.
Fontaine.
So
yeah.
Yeah.
Her mom played that role, and then she and Anne Hathaway specifically wanted to play that role because her mom played it.
Yeah. Huh.
I thought that was really neat.
It's interesting, yeah.
But yeah, she killed it.
I actually, that sneaky dot, where does that go? I really wish that he had a bigger part in the film, but I really... I'm about to say.
Sorry.
I really liked the bits where Gavroche was singing. He was the little Cockney kid with the blonde curls.
He was great.
Yeah, he did a really good job, and his part in the actual musical is larger than they gave him in the film. Mm-hmm. Which is part of why I was like, oh, I really wish he had a bigger part in the film. To be
fair, the musical is really long.
Yeah. Yeah. But
I mean, intermissions don't really go over well in movie theaters.
But he did a really good job in that film as well. Yeah. And I
also liked Sacha Baron Cohen's and Helen Bonham Carter as the masters of the house.
Oh, God.
I remember when scene. I was saying in the chat, the former Brovengers chat, which we won't talk about, because I'm not bitter at all.
Aww.
And the Breakfast Man mentioned, oh, well, you're gonna really like to see who the masters of the house are, and he says it will make total sense. And I'm like, oh, so in my head I'm running through all the people that I know. I wasn't even close. I wasn't even remotely close. Yep. And it made total sense. They were great.
They were.
And the chick who played the daughter, can't remember her name either.
I know who you're talking about.
She was great too.
The
I almost cried. I almost cried during her scene.
Yeah, not really, like, it was a trio song, but not really. With her, Mar whatever his name is, and
I want to say it's Marius, but
Marius,
it's probably
yes,
not.
Marius,
yes.
Ah, thank you, Marius, and Fontaine's daughter, Colette, right? Colette, yeah. Like the three-way song between the three of them.
Was it Dakota Fanning, or who was it?
No, I don't know who played her, but
okay.
But yeah, the three-way song between the three of them.
Oh, that was great.
Really
I almost cried that was the song I almost cried at, because when she was singing the songs, it was just like depressing.
That was also the point where I had finally had the thought that like, this is a really enjoyable musical, but it doesn't stand up quite as well as a film, because we're getting very long static shots of people singing.
Mm-hmm. But it's a musical.
Yeah, exactly. Like it was a very good musical, but
in my brain I shifted from movie to musical.
Yeah. Well,
just because I know it's the way that musicals work is like, if there's a solo singer,
yes,
but there's other people on stage, the lights go down.
Yes.
The light is shown on the person, and that person is soloed, and there's not a whole lot of moving from everybody else. If there is moving, it's very subtle, and there's not much of it. Well, so from like a theater standpoint, it was beautifully shot. From a movie standpoint, no.
Yeah,
it was not.
And for me, I don't watch a lot of musicals, so it was...
Well, see, I come from that culture, so exactly. For me, I thought it was just, like, beautifully done.
But
that's why I kind of got annoyed with, like, a couple reviewers.
The critical reception.
Yeah, especially Movie Bob. Mainly because of... I don't want to turn this into a Movie Bob hate session, but when you make it about the book and not the musical...
Yeah,
I have a problem with you. It's like bitching about Phantom of the Opera because you're basing... The movie was garbage. Let's be honest. The movie sucked. You're getting mad that it wasn't a proper film adaptation from the book. The book is terrible. Okay?
Aww.
Wicked is a terrible movie, or is a terrible book. But it's a fantastic musical, and I'm actually going to see that pretty soon. I'm going to see Wicked because it's coming to town, and I'm so excited.
Oh, nice.
And, but, yeah, I mean, if it's based off a book and it turns into a musical, chances are the book is terrible. And the musical is, like, 5 times better.
I don't know. I've never heard really many bad things about Les Miserables. Like,
the book is kind of bad. The musical is fantastic.
I've never really... I guess I haven't really...
It's a bitch to do in theater because there's so many actors.
Well, I guess I haven't met many people who know the, like, book and everything in the first place, so...
Well, yeah, I mean, not everyone knows it's a book. It's a Victor Hugo book.
Yep.
But yes, but Fontaine, the 2 times she was on screen, I think she was only on the screen twice. She was on the screen 3 times. I can't remember. It's been too long.
Well.
I cried 2 out of the 3 times. Like, when she died, I cried. Like, the first time I saw her on screen, I was like, don't cry, don't cry, don't cry. Yes, good job. You didn't cry. Then the second time, when Jean Valjean was dying, total tears. End of story. My mom handed me a tissue in the theater. It was pretty embarrassing.
Aww. Well, on the next video, we're...
Happy stuff. No dying.
We're going to be going into the botanical gardens, and there may be some dying.
Aww.
But we'll have to find out then.